Good morning, y'all. We have a very fun day planned today. It's very cold and foggy, but we're gonna go on a little road trip to a little bit south of here. We're gonna go to St. Mary's, Idaho and Deary, Idaho, which is a tiny little community, but I've heard they have a really good thrift store there. So we're gonna go to 4 different places, which is gonna include 2 different thrift stores, a huge vintage and antique mall, and a church rummage sale. So let's hit the road. Okay, we made it. This is called Twice Love Treasures. This is the store I've been hearing about. They are only open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so let's check it out. Some cute old Avon rings. Oh, love that. Ew, $75. That's so cute. But I'm gonna put her back. That has a really pretty pattern. I really like this vintage vest from Mexico, but I already have a few that haven't sold yet, so I'm gonna pass on that. So, and they have a $5 fill-a-bag sale, I believe every other Thursday. Okay, so yesterday I had a training call with Andy from All Put Together, and I'm sure y'all watch her channel. She collects these Kakashi dolls. I never have bought these, but in the spirit of our call, I feel like I should get this. $10. I feel like she would pick this up. She's kind of fun. Handmade in the Philippines. $25. That's kind of cute, but I think just a little too amateur, but I do like the colors. The sun is shining! The fog went away and it turned out to be so pretty today. But anyway, that was a really good stop. I'm so glad I finally made it out to that store. It was small, but they had some really nice things in there, and the prices were really good. And I feel like I got a pretty good amount of little treasures, so I'm excited for those. And I found out they have a sister store in Troy, which is just the next town over. It's like 10 minutes away. They're only open on Mondays and Wednesdays, so they're closed today. But I did find an antique store in Troy, so I'm gonna head over there now. So we got a little bonus stop for today's plan. But it's exciting to know that one of their stores is open Monday through Thursday, so in one of the little towns, and they have a bag sale every week at either of the locations, which is the $5 fill-a-bag for clothing. Not that I'm looking for clothing right now, but when I am, that'll be a really good stop to add to my rotation to hit up and get some good deals. So let's go to the antique store next. Well, this is a bummer. They were supposed to be open at noon and they're closed. And it looks like there's some really fun things in there. Anyway, this is Troy, Idaho. Cute little town. Okay, well, I drove 2 hours to go to one store. That's what happens sometimes. When you live in the rural part of Idaho, things are not always open, even on days they're supposed to be open. So we're gonna head back to St. Mary's and do our next adventure. We've got a thrift store there to go to, the church rummage sale, and the very large antique mall. They have over 75 vendors, and I tell everyone you need at least like 1 or 2 hours in there because there's so much good stuff. And I haven't been in a while, so I'm excited. All right, next stop is the Red Barn thrift store, and we're gonna go here first, and then right across the street is the church rummage sale. Well, right off the bat, I found this little wall hanger. It's not vintage, but it'll be good for displaying, and it's only $2. I really like that brooch. It's big. $4. I'm just not sure. I found this really pretty color little farmhouse painting, and then
I have one that looks like an hour.
here's how my cart's looking so far. Look at these wall candle holders. Mid-century Sirocco, $2.50 each. That's so pretty. It's old Nordstrom. These colors are catching my eye. They're really pretty. Let's see what we got under here. Ooh. That's kind of cool. It's heavy. $12. Okay, well, this is a small but really good cart. I am so excited about my findings from that store. I can't wait to show y'all what all I got. And now we are going into the rummage sale. I have found some really good coats here in the past. I don't need clothes, but I'm at least gonna take a peek and just see what they got. This linen looks interesting. Let me fold this out and see what it is. It's a really pretty tablecloth. Definitely gonna grab that. That's sweet. I didn't find too much at the rummage sale, but I did pick up that tablecloth as well as the that cute little sign. I just thought that was so sweet. That's gonna go to the shop. And so now we're headed to our last stop for the day. It's Happy's Marketplace. It's that big vintage vendor mall. And it is 2:30, so I have 2.5 hours, which should be plenty of time to shop. So I actually used to have a booth here a long time ago before we opened the store, and it was really fun. And a little hint, I might be coming back and doing a booth again. I've been in talks with the manager, so we'll see. I have that. Okay, my mom is looking for one of these. Don't think that's quite the style, but that is pretty. Let's see how much they're asking. That's $49. That's not bad. That's adorable. $20. A little too high for me to resell, but it's so cute. If this was just a little bigger, I would jump all over that. That'd be good to make bread in if it was a little bigger. And this corner is where my booth used to be. I love the colors on that. Isn't that pretty? Only $10. That's not bad at all. Signed on the bottom. I may have to get that. I just love the colors. Beautiful. I love the shape on that. Not a bad price. Here's another beautiful studio pottery piece. It's only $7. I love the colors, the blues and the greens, and this is a really cool texture. I'm telling you, these prices are so good. I think I'm gonna get that one too. This chair is awesome. I love that. Don't need it, but love it. There's another good one. That one's more than I want to spend though. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? The little Pomeranian, original art, $2.25. Beautiful frame. It's so cute. That's a beautiful landscape too. Patrick's Originals. Good job, Patrick. It's a very cool booth. Very mountainy. Love that. It's only $30, which is not bad, but I think it's just a little more. I love the two-tone colors of that. Well, deerskin, $10. In really good condition. Okay, I'm low-key obsessed with this massive wooden boot. That would make a cute planter. It's so big. It's almost like a clown boot, but I love it. I don't know where I would put it, but I love it. Oh my gosh, I used to have that when I was a kid. That is a very old, very cool spice cabinet. $95. Expensive, but it's cool. Okay, this isn't really my style, but this is gorgeous. Look at all that detail. And how pretty is that shade? That's a gorgeous furniture piece right there. Well, that was a fun stop. I haven't been in there in a while, so I always love just browsing and seeing how other vendors set their booths up. It's very inspiring, and also found some treasures. And I didn't get a whole bunch just because, of course, these things are curated, so they're priced a little bit higher, but I was able to find a couple good deals. And overall, I spent just over $100 today. So, and I got some really good stuff that I'm excited to show y'all. So we are gonna call it a day, head back home, and I'm gonna show you all my findings. Okay, before we get in the haul, I have to do a little outfit of the day because everywhere I went today, I got compliments on this sweater. So I guess I need to wear it more often. It is a Vintage Express, and it's a blend of wool and Angora rabbit fur and acrylic, but it's got a really cute pattern and lots of compliments today, so figured I'd just show y'all that real quick. Okay, so before we get into this haul, I want to introduce myself. My name is Chelsea, and I own Hidden Gems in Harrison, Idaho. It's a little vintage shop, and I also have a couple booths in Coeur d'Alene at a vintage vendor mall, and I sell online. So we have our own website, and I sell across most major platforms. So anything that is listed online from this haul, I will include in the description below, so you can go check out our listings. And most of this stuff right here is from today. I do have a few pieces that are going to be online, so that's why I included them. I've had them for a while, but I just got them listed, so I'm gonna show you those few things. And then I picked up a few things the other day. I had gone back to one of the thrift stores to hopefully find a couple of the items I missed on last week's trip. If you saw that video a couple of videos back, I had passed up on a couple things. Of course, they were already gone, but I did find a few other things, so I'm gonna show you those as well. So let's jump right in. Okay, so we're just gonna start with the good stuff. This is something I have had in the store for a little while, and I'm finally getting around to listing it online, but it's this beautiful 1920s Mandalian Art Deco bag, silver bag. It's got the silver rim up here, up at the top, and the fringe down at the bottom. It has this beautiful painted enamel over the silver. It is almost in perfect condition. It's just beautiful. So this is listed on Etsy. So actually everything, I'll just go ahead and tell you, everything that you're gonna see that I say is listed online is both on Etsy and on our personal website. And you can check out those listings there. I'm sure at some point, and there is actually more listings on the website than there is currently on Etsy, but you'll be able to find all these listings at both places. But she's pretty, and she's very old and in excellent condition. And I have a lot to show y'all, so to keep this moving somewhat quickly, I'm gonna do just an overview of all the jewelry I have. So everything here is sterling silver. These are some pieces that I have had in my shop, but again, have not made it online yet, and now they are. So one of my favorite pieces is this huge flower ring. It's got so much cool detail, even under the petals is very detailed, but it's hollow. The silver is hollow, so it's lightweight. And then also this really cool ring, it's a coral, very detailed, fits really nicely around your finger. So I've got those rings coming available, as well as these sterling silver button covers. These are really cool earrings. They're rams, sterling silver hoops with these rams on them. Couple different Southwest earrings. This is malachite stone in here, and then these are turquoise. I love these heart-shaped. I don't know if you can see it, but they're scalloped on the edges. And then this is a really beautiful sterling bracelet. It's got this very fine, detailed filigree, super lightweight, very delicate, very pretty. And then this awesome moonstone necklace. It has all these different, pretty large, they're like the size of my fingernail basically, moonstones and sterling. So we've got a really good collection of jewelry that's gonna be available online. The next pair of earrings are ones that I picked up just the other day at the thrift store that I went back to, but look how cool these are. They are made of copper, they're artisan made. Please disregard my fingernails. And then the stones are unakite, and I just thought those had the coolest design. So those are gonna be online. And then as far as jewelry, I've got 4 rings that I picked up today. They're just costume, but they're vintage Avon little cocktail rings. This one is actually not, there we go. This one's not marked Avon, so I may actually go get this one tested. It doesn't have a gold stamp, but that does not mean it's not gold. And it has what appears to be little rubies in there. So I'm gonna go get that one checked. The other 3 are vintage Avon. And again, just cute little cocktail rings, but we sell these in the store. So these won't be online, but they will be in our shop in Harrison. So there's a little band with some opals, and then this last one with just some little green stones. So I picked those up today. And then from my trip the other day, this was the last thing that I got the other day, but it is this set of Japanese, it's a salt and pepper shaker, a little, I think this is for either cream or salt, but look at this spoon. It is tiny. That's the tiniest spoon I've ever seen. It's adorable. And then this, I think they call it a cruet for oil and vinegar. So this cute little set, I think these are either gonna go in my shop in Harrison or to one of my booths, but I just love the pattern on there. It's not in perfect condition. It has some yellowing around some of the pieces there, and some of the paint has chipped in a couple places. The gold has worn a little bit, but these are very old and just a really cute and unique style, so I had to get those. Okay, so now to all the good stuff that I picked up today. So it was fun because this was a brand new store that I went to. I always love going to new places, and road tripping is my absolute favorite. And my favorite kind of thrifting is just getting out in these tiny little towns and hitting up the small thrift stores that are locally owned. I enjoy that so much better than the large thrift stores. Even though the selection is smaller, I just always seem to find good stuff. So one of the things I picked up in Deary, and this was right when I walked in the door, I don't know if I even got this on camera, but is this big brass vase. And it's not super heavy. It's actually very kind of thin and really lightweight. But I just love the shape on that. It's like probably almost 1.5 feet tall, so it's a really good size. It's got this braided little rope here detail. There's no marking unless it's covered by this. I haven't gotten this off yet, but anyway, this will be really good for styling and staging. So this is probably gonna go to one of my booths. I think it'd be really pretty to put dried flowers in or some tall stems. So that's gonna be going to one of my booths. And it was only $4. So I think I mentioned already, the store had really good prices. The next thing I picked up was this pair of candle holders. They're really pretty, like bluish gray color. They're in really good condition, no chips. I don't know if that's marble. It kind of looks like marbling or some kind of stone, but I just thought that was such a pretty color. I don't know, these may have to stay with me at my house. I'm gonna see if I can find a spot for them. I paid $5 for the set. So I'm gonna see if these find a home within my home, and if not, I will be listing these online. So if I don't find a place, be looking for that in the description as well. And we are in Idaho, so I'm a sucker for anything wildlife. I got this really cute coffee or tea mug, and it has this, just like this wildlife scenery on it. It's got the mountains and moon and bird and a little elk right there, the trees. It's definitely a handmade piece, probably like a little studio pottery piece. There's no signature on the bottom. I paid $5, which was a little higher price probably than I would normally pay, but because it was, I just thought it so unique and artisan made, I had to get that. And these types of things do really well in our shop, so this will be going to the Harrison store. The next thing I got is this little pottery piece. I guess it's a studio pottery, but I just thought the markings on it were really cool. And it's got a little bitty hole up here. It's like a little bud vase. But I just loved those earth tones. It's got some pretty blues throughout it, and then the different shades of brown. But I just love the little shape, and it's kind of miniature. I love miniature things. And I have tiny hands, and it just fits in the palm of my hand, so cute. But this one will be listed online, both in the Etsy shop. And I forgot to tell you, so the things that are going on our website, I'm doing just one big drop that will be available on the first Friday in February. It's February 6th. Everything on Etsy is already available, so you can shop there or wait for the drop, and there might be some additional things going on the website as well, but that'll be coming on February 6th. And then y'all saw me pick up this Kakeshi doll. So I will be honest, I know nothing about these dolls. I purely got this because Andy from All Put Together, I know, finds these and collects these. Apparently there's a good market for them as well, but like I said, I don't know anything. I'm gonna start researching it, but in the spirit of her call, we just did a one-on-one coaching call this week. She is a lovely human. She was so sweet and so helpful. And I just thought it was funny. Right after our call, I found one of these, and so I had to get it. She was only $10, so I'm gonna do a little bit of research and see what I can learn about these dolls, but this will be going online as well. Nothing exciting, but I also picked up these little candles because I do always need candles for staging, and when I find little candle holders, they were cheap. I think they were like $1.25, and I'm missing a green one. I think it's somewhere down in my container still. And also in Deary at that stop, I got this little bamboo frame. I think it's bamboo or some kind of wood. It's small, but I just thought it was cute. It's not like super, super old. It is vintage. Just, I can tell the way it was crafted, but not super old. But that I just thought was a cute little frame. It'll be in either one of the shops or one of the booths, but I'll probably throw this, I don't know, this might actually not go online. This will probably just stay locally in one of the stores or booths. Okay, and I think this was the last thing that I got from the first stop. I think it was from there. At least it was from today. I know that much. But I love these kind of candles, and I love just thrifting candles in general because they are so much cheaper. I do have a place locally where I get candles refilled. They are made so well and have the best fragrances, but I also love thrifting candles because they're cheap. And so I picked this one up. I thought that was really good for spring, and then it has all the flowers pressed in there. It's a really old candle in here. It doesn't have a smell anymore, so I'll replace that. But I'm curious because it has the glass down in there. I'm wondering if it will make the candle glow. So I want to test that out, but I picked that up. So the second stop of the day was the Red Barn thrift store in St. Mary's, and I haven't been there in years, so it was good to go back, and I was really surprised at all the good stuff I found. So right off the bat, not vintage, and I'm not gonna pull it out, but it was just that little wall hanger there. I'm just gonna take that to the store or one of my booths. That'll be really great for staging. But the really exciting thing is these two wall hangers that are candle holders. So they are the Sirocco brand, which I believe is from like 60s or 70s, but they're definitely vintage, that mid-century era. But they're so pretty. And the girl priced these at $2.50 each. I was so excited to find these. So these will definitely be going online. I just love them. I'm probably gonna sell these as a pair, but for $5 for the pair, I was so excited for that. So then I got some really pretty dishes. So I got these sets. There are 5 different plates, and I think they're a collector plate. I'm sure you can use them as like a little, plate to eat off of too. But aren't those just beautiful? They are, and they're named on the back. So they're all these different flowers. So like this one is begonias. They are made out of porcelain. In each of these plates, it says they were based on an original painting on silk. And then they were printed on these porcelain plates. And so that one is the begonias. Then there is the calla lilies. And I just thought that blue color was so pretty. And then all the different floral arrangements. I'm a flower girl. I am a flower child through and through, and especially with spring coming up, it'll be here before we know it. So I just thought these were gonna be so good for spring. This is the orchids plate. These were only $3 a piece. I don't know much about these. I'm gonna have to look them up. I don't know how valuable they are, but I thought surely for $3, I'll at least have good enough margins to resell those. But here is the peonies. And it's funny, for the longest time in my life, I used to say peonies, like a peony. And finally got it right, that they're peonies. So I still laugh about that. Can't remember if I showed you the lilies already. But anyway, there's 5 different ones. And they also came with a certificate of authenticity on every single plate. And it has the numbers of the plates too, right up here. So it's definitely a collection, and there's a little story about it. So each plate has those. So I thought for sure they have to have some sort of value in them, and I just thought they were pretty. And I just fell in love with this bowl. The scalloped edge, it's got this rose print and all around it, but you normally don't see like floral patterns with black. And so I think that's what really caught my eye, was the black with the kind of like rose, dusty rose color. And then on the back, it has it's a really old Nordstrom. So unfortunately, it was the only bowl that they had. I wish this would have been in a set. So I just love this pattern so much. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out for it. It was only $2. I just thought that was so pretty. So this will probably, I don't know, I need to do some more research on this and see if they're, very valuable. But this will probably be going to one of the stores, and either the store or the booths. I don't know, unless there's a really high demand for replacements on these. So I'll have to do some research on those. And I think the last thing that I got at that store was this little painting here. And it's an original art piece. I paid $2.50 for that. But I just love the colors. This reminds me of the Palouse area, which is an area near where we live. It's a lot of farmland and rolling hills. But I just thought that was a really pretty little farmhouse. The framing is not great. The matting is a little bit dirty. So I'm gonna try to clean that up and find a frame for it. But this will be going online as well. And then the third stop on today's little adventure was the rummage sale at the church. And I think it's the part of their senior center. So I got this sign, which they don't have a whole lot of home decor anyways. I do find pretty decent clothing there. I've had pretty good luck there, but I wasn't really looking for clothes. But anyway, I did find a couple little things. And the first was this sign. I just thought that was so cute. Welcome friends. And it's got the little town here with all the buildings. And the way they do everything is just donation based. So whatever you're getting, you just offer what you'd like. And so I picked this up, and then y'all saw that beautiful tablecloth. And I just love that bright orange stitching in there. I think this will be so great for summer, spring and summer. And then it has a really pretty edge there. So I'm not sure. I think this will probably stay local, both of these pieces. And the last stop of the day was at Happy's, which was the big vendor mall. And of course, you know, everything's already marked up, but I just love going to see all the different booths and all the different curations. It's such a cool store, but they do still have good prices, and I was able to find a few deals. So I got these 2 pottery pieces. Let me just set one down so I can show you one at a time. I love this one. It's this beautiful blue color. It is in really good condition. There is one little chip here at the very bottom. I didn't even notice it till I was checking out, but it's really not super noticeable. But I just thought the glaze on that was so beautiful. It is artist signed on the bottom. It says wood. So a little artisan, but I just love pictures. I love using them for flower arrangements and putting dried flowers or fresh flowers. And I just think this would be so pretty staged on a shelf. That blue just really pops. And then the second piece, I just thought this texture was so cool. It's kind of like these little bubbles, and then it's got like, I don't know if you can tell, but kind of that crackling in there. But the shades on this were really pretty. It's almost like watercolors. So it's got greens and blues, and then it's got the kind of sand colors and textures there. This one is also signed on the bottom. So I think that's a little studio pottery piece. But this one is in perfect condition. I did not see any chips. So this one will for sure be going online. The blue, I don't know. I love it so much. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. I'm gonna see if I can find a place for it. But if not, it will go online. I almost forgot about this because it was in a pocket. So I got this, it's just an old, I think it's Timex. Yeah, an old Timex watch with the gold and silver band. I love the mixed metals. These kind of watches sell all day long in my shop. Even if they don't work, I will sell them for at least 15, 20 bucks and up from there. So I paid $2 for that. So that was definitely an easy pickup that I know will do really well in the shop. Okay, so the last thing that I got, well, first, I did not end up getting those big wood cowboy boots, or the one boot, I should say. I want to say it was like $39, and I just couldn't think of a place that I would put it, and so I ended up passing on that. But I did get this old deerskin bag. It is in excellent condition. There's no tears, no holes, and I love the two-tone of that. It was a little bit higher price point, but then they had it marked down on sale for only $10. So I paid $10 from that, which I thought it was worth that all day long, and I can definitely resell that. We sell a lot of leather bags in our store. So this will be going to Harrison. And there's 2 things I almost forgot actually. So this is something that I have also had a while in my store, but is now available online. It's, oh goodness, let's not do that. So these have been in my store for a while, but they are now available online, and they're these mid-century bookends, and they are just so cool. I think those would look so fantastic on a shelf. They're super modern, but the wood is just this beautiful, rich color, and you can even put stuff like on the sides if you wanted. Like you could do a candle or a vase. I don't know. They were just really awesome. So those are listed on my website or on Etsy, and then will also be on the website coming February 6th. And then the other thing I forgot to show you that I got at the thrift store a few days ago is this set of Christmas glasses. So what's cool about them, you know how glasses have little wine charms? Well, these have words, and every word is different, and they have these hand-painted ornaments. I only have 4 pulled out, but I actually got 13 of those. So I'm gonna stash those away for Christmas, and I will probably split those up in sets of like
for, let's see, three sets of 4 or 2 sets of 4, 1 set of 5, something like that. I'll split it up in 3 different sets, but you'll see those later in the year. So all in all, I would say today was a total success. It was so much fun road tripping and going to some new stores that I haven't been to or haven't been to in a while. Found some really great stuff. So what can you expect in the future? Definitely more thrifting videos, going on road trips, showing you all the hidden gems, pun intended, in our area and outside of our area too. I love traveling to new places. So we've got some really great vintage home decor and art and jewelry and just all the things coming, and we'll be bringing online to you so you can actually shop it from where you're at as well. So thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to see more real-time behind the scenes, go give us a follow on Instagram. I will include the link below in the description, and we will see you in the next video. Have a great week.